Hey everyone, you'll have to excuse me. I am eating ice cream as I'm doing this. Anyway, I have talked to some of my family and friends about the dream I had, and everyone keeps trying to find a deeper meaning to it, which is actually driving me kind of crazy. 'Cause it's just a dream. I don't think there's any deeper meaning to a higher power asking me a question. But everyone keeps they keep assuming that there is another meaning to it. Anyway, so last night, surprisingly, my dream continued. I did get an answer during my nap time as to what I was given. Still don't know exactly where I've been placed, but I have been dropped into a world where magic exists and mythical creatures exist. I'm not too thrilled about that. Um, because everyone is like, "Well, mythical creatures, dragons, yeah, more ways to die in this new world, yay." And knowing my luck, it's going to happen. I'm going to die constantly, um, or at least be close to death constantly, which is just fantastic. Now I have this kind of like an over voice thing that's going on in my dreams. Uh, basically, the over voice is explaining to me what is happening in this world and my purpose for being there. To be honest, I wasn't necessarily listening to any of it. Um, but I had some people ask me why I decided to start making YouTube videos. Honestly, don't really have a reason. Just my blogs kind of went all over the place, and everyone was really interested in what I had to say on them. And I basically just ramble about just the most random of things. So they were like, "Well, you could just do that on YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm more than positive no one's going to watch it." I was honestly more surprised that people were actually reading my blogs. No one ever watches live videos all the way through unless they're really invested. Usually, the only people I'll watch live are Jacksepticeye and I am Brandon Ferris. They're the only 2 that I will watch live because, well, they're freaking hilarious. Um, I do like Markiplier, but I tend to get motion sickness from his videos, which I find really weird. but mainly because he just jots around a lot with the camera and where he's looking that it just makes me sick sometimes. I can watch his Uno videos and his prop hunts and, heave ho and a bunch of other things of his that I can actually watch all the way through, but when he's playing scary games or just any game where you can move the camera around a lot, I can't do it because I get motion sickness. I'm trying to find a new manga to watch. Not watch, read, excuse me. I started thinking anime and then anyway. Um, I mainly go through and read the same ones over and over again because usually by the time I get back to the beginning of the list, they've updated the chapters. There are a lot of them that they have not continued, and the Imperial Poisonous Concubine, that one I actually stopped reading all on my own. I didn't run out of chapters or anything, but it just kind of got a little too repetitive. There are some that I tend to drop after reading the 3rd time, and usually either it's because the updated chapters are either take too long to upload and put up onto the website, it's or whoever is translating them does not know English well enough, and it kind of it's like, "No one knows what you're saying anymore. Speak English." They've mixed up the words, they use the wrong words and stuff like that, and then it gets really irritating. Um, the one I've been reading is College Student Empress. Um, when I read the chapters, it says, The Jock Empress or something like that. There are a couple chapters in there where it was just like, "I don't know what you're saying anymore." I was like, "I need you to speak English," and I stopped. Well, I went on to reading something else instead. And then I went back to it and I was like, "Well, I kinda gotta know what happens." Because there's so much that they can do um, with this little series already, but they haven't done anything. The same with, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. There's I haven't read the manga of it yet, but I have been watching it constantly. I really love the way they've done it, but I'm more interested in to find out if if they actually do another series where he gets reincarnated as something else. Um, just from the naming of the series itself, it's just like there's more than just him being a slime. So I get the feeling that he's going to die at the end of the series, and he's going to be reincarnated in something else, and we're gonna have to go and watch that. There was another reincarnation one that I was really fond of, and it's called I'm a Spider, So What? Um, I really like that series just because the main character what was her name? Wakaba? I can't remember. Um, Basically, she's this monster spider, and she just kind of, unlike most main characters, she just kind of goes with it. She's just like, okay, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. And then they brought in her mom, who's behind the mom, and all this other stuff, and they're trying to get this one spider to listen to them, and it's not working, so they went and tried to kill her, and she survived, and I really love this series. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it keeps switching to the rest of her class. From what I've gotten so far, what I've picked up so far from the series is that no one in that class liked her to begin with, so I don't see why we have to keep going to them. I don't understand why we're watching them when they're nowhere close to interacting with her. They're One of the people who used to bully her in the class is asking if anyone has found her yet, and all I keep thinking to myself is, why do you care? You died and were reborn as something else. This poor little thing is a freaking spider, for crying out loud. You're what, a dragon? Like, why are you trying to bring her back? Are you going to apologize for what you did? Because I highly doubt that. But anyway, um, I used to be bullied in school. So I have this real thing about bullies. It still happens. I'm out of school. I'm nearly 30 years old. Bullying still happens. But from what I've learned over the years is that's not my damn problem. They have their own issues. They can say whatever the hell they want. I'm done. Um, Now it did take me a while to get to that point. I'm still kind of at that point. Just sometimes I can take it in stride, sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's that one thing that they say that kind of tips me over the edge and I can't take it. Now, the one thing I have a pet peeve about is the word stupid. I can keep my cool if anyone calls me an idiot, a retard, anything like that. But the second someone says I'm stupid, anyway. But anyway, I was watching this series and I've watched it twice already just because of how much I really like it, and I'm most likely going to watch it again. But what I really like about this series is the fact that, well, the main thing that I liked about this series was when she went to fight another monster that was in the dungeon with her, and she had to defeat him to get out. Now, I can't remember his name anymore. But at the end of their fight, you find out that the thing that she was fighting was only interested in her because it knew she was stronger and she could possibly get rid of him. I actually cried at that part just because of the interaction that these two had of spying on each other and trying to find each other and then fighting each other, and you know, all that. I actually found that very entertaining, and it also gave me a little insight into what both of them were going through as to why they had to fight each other and stuff. But it was also real heartbreaking because I thought they would be, um, just from my perspective, I thought they would have been a great couple. Although, yeah, 2 different species, I know, but I thought that their personalities actually really went really well together, so I was really fond of it. Anyway, someone asked me what they asked me? Sorry, my mom just messaged. She found a movie that I loved watching when it came out, and, she found it on YouTube and was able to watch it for free, and she got off of the screen and didn't know how to get back to it because they didn't give the actual name to the movie. It just said "Invasion" on the screen in a different picture. So she didn't know what the name of the movie was, and I was like, "I've seen this movie, you could just ask me." So she asked me, and I said, "It's called The Host." Now, you can't find The Host on YouTube under that name. You can, but you have to buy or rent it. She managed to watch it for free on a sci-fi channel with tons of different sci-fi movies, and on the title of the thing of movies, it says "Invasion." But I told her the name of it, and I kinda got upset at her because she just seemed more ticked off than anything, which I understand, but I'm trying to help, don't fling your nose at me. Just take the help. If you don't want my help, say so. I'll go away. I'm fine with that. But, she really liked the movie. I've seen it like 100 times. So, I told her the name and I told her she could probably buy it off of Amazon because she seemed to really like it. I've watched a lot of movies, but I am extremely picky. The same with my animes, the same with the mangas that I read. I am extremely picky. When it comes to video games, I'm I tend to get really peculiar about what I'll play. Now, I have recently started branching out from The Sims and stuff like that, from customizing my characters to playing Subnautica. Subnautica, you can't customize your character. It'd be great if you could make your own character and still get to play the game, kind of like that, kinda like they have that free build mode and stuff like that, but they, the way they portrayed the game turned out really good, and I really loved it. Then I saw Jack and I believe it was Markiplier, as well as Neebs Gaming playing Subnautica, and, um and I've also seen them play Below Zero. and got really interested in wanting to play it myself. So when I had some money, I went and bought the game, the first one, not the second one because it's still too expensive. But started playing it and I really love it. Now I've stopped playing it for a while, mainly because I want to be able to play it on a bigger screen instead of just my computer, but I don't have a TV for that. I also can't figure out how to do this whole overlay thing. So I don't even think that's possible with the computer. I don't think I can do that with this. It'd be really cool if I could, because then I could still play a game while talking to you guys or read something while still talking to you guys. But I don't know how to do any of that. I'm still new to all of this. But anyway, I was really picky about the types of games I played. I liked customizing my characters, which was why um, Champions of Norath was one of my favorites to play. And Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, and the original of that, those were fun to play. Now, Baldur's Gate, you can't technically customize your character, but you do get different types of outfits that look different on each character, which I really liked. And which is why I got into Sims when it came out, was because you could customize your characters, different hairstyles and stuff like that. And then they started getting more into you can pick out your own traits, your personality, their likes, dislikes, and stuff like that. And you could fully customize their faces and the way they looked. I like that because they also have a way for you to have a family and you get to watch people grow up. You can also customize the things around you, couches, beds, blankets, blah, 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 wallpapers, all that. So I've never really been into games that you can't customize. Excuse me, that you can't customize your characters until I started playing Tekken. Now, the first one of the Tekken series that I played was the first one, was just Tekken. And then the one I played after that was Tekken 3. I didn't get to play Tekken 2, not until later. Um, I believe the first one was called Tekken. It's been so long. I haven't found them. I haven't found 1, 2, or 3 for a very long time. I can't even find them on Amazon either, which is driving me nuts because I absolutely love those games. And I really wish they would remake old games for the new systems because I still have a PS2 and a GameCube and a Nintendo and all this just so I can keep playing my old games as well as some of the new ones that I wanted to play. I do have games like Resident Evil where you can't customize your character, but I prefer Resident Evil 4 just because it felt like you had more freedom to do things, and mainly because that was the one that I started playing to begin with, none of the others. I also have racing games because you can customize your cars, and I really love racing. Um, I have Bomberman because you can customize your bomber. make them have a throw, which is really cool. And Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, because, well, who doesn't like that? Um, but people have been trying to convince me, and people around me have been trying to convince me to play, um, crap, I just had it. Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch. I do not have one of those yet, and they're still new, and so they're still expensive. So I can't afford that. Because I play Pokemon Go on my phone, and I grew up with Pokemon, so that's what I grew up on. And where did my phone go? Right in front of my damn face. And they were telling me it was really cool and stuff like that, but I'm watching them play this game, and all I keep thinking to myself is, this isn't Pokemon. This isn't what I grew up on. I thought, I don't really know how to go into this. I thought you would go out, catch Pokemon, in this big wide open world, and unlock new areas that you could go to with your character and your Pokemon, tame them enough to where you don't have to keep them in the Pokeballs and stuff like that, while also getting to interact with other trainers and stuff like that. It doesn't look that way to me, and from what people have described to me, that's not the game at all, which really kind of ticks me off because that's not the Pokemon I grew up on. Um, I thought that it was going to be more, um, how best to describe this, more open and more free. You know how in Warcraft, if anyone has ever played World of Warcraft, um, you start in a certain area, but then you can go to different areas as you level up. And you have quests to do, but you don't actually have to participate in them. They're not like, hey, you have to do this quest. No, you don't. Um, Pokemon seems more along the lines of you have to do this way, which I don't like. What I'm hoping that they do for the next Subnautica, just because I've seen just because I've seen Subnautica and Subnautica Sub-Zero, both are set in different areas on the exact same planet, 4546b. And at the end of the second one, when I watched Jack finish that series of Below Zero, the first thing that came to my mind is there's going to be a third one. And then someone asked me, well, what would the third one be about? And I was like, well, this one you would be on an actual alien planet, and you would get to go back to 4546b to gather materials and stuff to help these aliens on their planet and stuff like that. you still get to experience the old stuff while being in the new stuff. You know, there are going to be spoilers. Sorry, but if you don't want any spoilers for the second one or the first one or anything like that, just go about your way. But anyway, in the second one, you give one of the architects a body. His name is Alan. You make him a body, and he takes you to his planet. And the first thing you see of this planet is all these cubes that you see in the original Subnautica underneath the islands are these huge cubes that are just really beautifully designed. And so I'm guessing you don't have to be in water very much on this one, but the portal stays open behind you, and you're supposed to help Alan um, either go and save his people or apologize to his people. It's something along those lines. It's been a while since I've seen the ending, but mainly you're still going to be the same character as you were in the second one instead of different characters. Um, Now, Neebs made it all one character because, well, they're crazy. They're a crazy bunch of people. So I do love how they kept some of the things from Neebs Gaming in the original series. Um, just because those guys are goofy. They're just they're goofy, and I absolutely adore them for it. But anyway, I'm hoping that there's stuff that you have to do on this planet that still requires some of the materials that were left behind on 4546B. So you have to jump through these portals to go to the Sub-Zero islands and then the original islands. And they'll have to use the alien tech and stuff to help Alan achieve whatever it is he's trying to achieve on his world, on his planet. So I'm hoping they kind of do like this open range teleport thing where you have to teleport from one place to another to gather materials to help Alan do whatever it is that he's got to do, which I think would be really cool. Now, there were some people saying, "Well, are you hoping they're going to do some kind of romance thing?" And I'm like, "No. No, because from what I've seen so far, just from meeting Alan and the architects, they don't have the capacity to get that way." Um, Now, Robin, on the other hand, is a different story because she is human. She's lost her family. The way they did that in Sub-Zero was kind of a letdown, I'm gonna say. Um, because you go through all this crap on in that icy area and just come find out that she just died. She wasn't killed or anything like that, just died. That was it. And it's like, well, we got a huge buildup for nothing. Like, I really thought it was gonna be something cool, like, maybe they were screwing with the virus that they weren't supposed to be screwing with, she gets infected with it, and she dies trying to find a cure for this thing. Still, just in case they can't get the enzyme or anything like that. I thought that that was what this was going to be. It did not turn out that way. Um, it turned out completely different, and it was just like, well, what was with the buildup then? Now, the ending of Sub-Zero was fantastic. It was, um, You help Alan get this body. He starts talking to you more often as you're doing that. He's helping you to find his body parts and stuff like that. And you get his body, you help him build turn on the portal, build it, and then go through and build another will help him fix the portal there so that you can go to the world and all that stuff. Like it's the interaction between him and Robin is really cool. Like I can understand why people think that there would be a romance there, but I don't see that happening at all. I can see them caring for one another, but not loving one another. Um, I am really interested to see if Alan wants to turn her into an architect, if they have a way to do that. That would be cool. But again, I don't see that happening either because that would mean that he loves her and he doesn't want her to die. Now, architects have this thing where death, pain, and stuff like that do not matter. Their their whole lives literally center around being scientists. They unlike human beings, they don't get attached to things. They don't want to see them grow and stuff like that. They're just like, if it survives, it survives. If not, oh well. And um and trying to cure diseases and stuff like that. Well, if they happen to come upon a cure. Um Now you do find out that the release of this virus, the coronavirus, I believe is what it was called. Can't remember. Anyway, you do find out that the whole reason this virus got loose was because of Alan in the first place. And if that was true, how come we never got a speck of anything of Alan until the second one? That was what was kind of irritating to me, but it did kind of build up to it. Like, what were the architects? Why were they always attacking us on 4546B? And why in the second one were they not a big part of it? But yeah, you kind of get more into an actual story in the second one, which I'm really, really hoping they do this in the third one with an open world. Now I know programming and building that type of world is going to be a bitch. Um, I have tried creating my own game before. It is not fucking easy at all. It is extremely difficult. But if they can do it, if they're willing to put in the hard work for it, much like the first one and Sub-Zero, I am very sure that there will be a lot of YouTubers playing the demo and letting them know that there's still some kinks to be worked out, you know. Not everything's going to be perfect. I get that. My computer, the one I'm filming on now, is kind of a piece of crap, if I'm going to be completely honest. And I still have some issues running The Sims and Subnautica. I can only play either one of them for about an hour before I have to turn it off just because my computer cannot handle it. Um, and that is only because I keep the graphics and everything up so high because it is such a beautiful game. When it comes to complete underwater games and where most of your things take place underwater, I am completely obsessed with it because I'm what I call a water baby. I would much prefer swimming and I would much prefer to die drowning just because I love water so much. I love being able to swim and, well, yeah. Just like a lot of people love to burn things down or stuff. I would say my addiction is Pepsi and swimming. No, I haven't got to do much of either lately, but I'm still completely obsessed with it. So, when I downloaded it and I started playing it, the first thing that came to my mind, even after seeing Mark and Jack and all these other people playing it, first thing that came to my mind was, "Oh my god. This freaking beautiful. How the hell did they manage this? How much work did they put into this? Like, how many computers and systems did they use to get the game to come out so beautifully and so realistic?" And I was like, there's just no way. And I actually, for a short while, started to believe that they were aliens because there's no way anyone can make such a perfect game. But anyway, that was my take on it because it was so beautifully done. It was like, if I die, that's where I want to go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I die, that's where I want to go. I want to be on that planet. I don't care about the Leviathans. I don't care about the Warpers. I don't care about any of that. I want to be on that water planet. I would build a house on land and constantly be in the water. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes, or whatever's about it. That's where I want to be. When I die, that's where I want to go. I don't have to have the people interaction. I don't have to have the anxiety of having to talk to someone new. I don't have to go into this basically I wouldn't have to job hunt. You know how cool that is? Just to be thrown into a new world and be like, I'm completely alone. Yes. Now, there are downsides to it. The fact that if I was thrown to that planet, surviving would be really horrible. I am not one of those survivor type peoples. I cannot manage that. Having to survive by eating fish and stuff like that. Now, if I had the tools that they had in Subnautica, yes, I would definitely be able to do it. But if I did not, if I didn't have the fabricator or the modification station or the water filtration system and stuff like that, if I could not build those just with getting certain ingredients, I would die. I would definitely die because when it comes to survival skills, I've got nothing. But I wouldn't care because while I'm still alive, I would be swimming. And so yeah, it is definitely a game worth checking out if you haven't already. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, well, just because they played it doesn't mean I'm gonna like it and blah blah blah. Or it's just not their cup of tea. It's just not their forte to play that type of game. Um, to be fair, I was actually having issues playing it, mainly because I constantly had to worry about food and water. I would always catch a bunch of fish and bladderfish and take at least 5 waters with me and 5 cooked fish at all times anytime I left my life pod. That only got me so far. The only island I didn't have to worry about was when I was traveling to the jungle island, because once you get there, you have the bulbo trees and they give you water and food. So if I was going to that island, I didn't have to worry about anything else. I didn't have to worry about food and water. Just get the bulbo trees. Now, the only problem with that is that the bulbo trees samples that you cut off take up 4 spaces. Was it 4? It was 4 or 6. I believe it was 4. Takes up a lot of space, just one of them. And because of all the stuff that you're going there to get, you can't constantly keep those in your inventory while going to collect materials. That was the only thing I didn't like about it. I wanted to build a base between both islands. Um, I wanted to have a base between the life pod, the jungle island, and put a base right there in the middle. That way I wouldn't have to go all the way back to the life pod. I would be able to store some things in that base. The same with the life pod and the architect island, the big gun island, and build a base in between those two, because that would make it easier to store certain materials from those islands in the bases. And then, you know, if I had to do everything in the life pod, I would still be able to because I'd be close enough. Now, I've been all around the gun island with just a high capacity O2 tank and a sea and not a sea moth, a sea glide, um, and a knife and a flashlight. That was all I had with me because I didn't see the point in building a sea moth and stuff like that. I didn't see a need for it. And I still never ran into the Leviathan. I don't know how Jack managed that so many times, but to each their own. I don't I don't know how he managed to piss the darn thing off so many times and see it so many times. I've gotten a glimpse of it once during the entire time that I've been on that island, and I spent most of my time on that island just because of the materials that I needed that were on that island, mainly diamonds and stuff like that. Um, Now, on the other hand, I am going to have to build a prawn soup and get the drill arm for it, because if you're near the area where the Leviathan usually spawns in, on those little crevices of the mountain, there's all sorts of materials that you can get. There's even this little um bar underneath it where it connects to some land where you can get materials and stuff like that, but that brings you even closer to the Leviathan, where you kind of need the drill arm because of the resources there. Um, so I really want to get the prawn suit just to have the drill arm. Aside from that, I don't see the point in having it, aside from the fact that you can go really deep with it. And I really don't like the fact that I have to fight for air constantly, which would be another reason to get it. I'm gonna have to go and put my ice cream away because it's melting really fast. But anyway, I'm gonna go and do that real quick. I'll be right back. Oh God. No idea where that came from. I still have the whole house to myself. Yay. I still have to run up to the gas station later after someone gets home so that they can lock the door behind me so that way I can go and see about the stupid job up there. Um, Now the only reason I'm trying to get a job up at Circle K is because it's within walking distance, and it it just seems more appropriate than anything else. I would rather have a job that I could walk to, so that way I don't have to worry about finding a ride. Um, if I really wish I didn't have to worry about that. I would rather dog sit and babysit any day of the week than have to worry about getting an actual job. But I don't know anyone who lives in Florida that would be okay with that. Besides, every time I seem to want to help somebody out, someone always has to accuse me of stealing things. Why do I want any of your crap? Okay, that's not something I want. I don't want to deal with your crap. I have my own crap. And I can't keep my crap in check. Like, that is all my crap. I also have some crap in the closet, but this is all my crap. Okay? Dirty, messy. It's a complete freaking wreck over there. Okay, it looks like a ticking time bomb just went off and said, "Bam! This is your room." I also have more crap behind the computer, and also I got a free game of Sorry. Like the first time I played that was before I moved down here, and then someone just left it on top of the trash cans, and so I picked it up. And well, actually, the neighbor Robin asked me if I wanted it. I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "It's been on top of the trash for a couple days. It's not opened." And I was like, "Well, I want it." Because I've only ever played it technically twice. So it was like, yay, I got a new game. It was free and it's never been opened. So none of the pieces are missing. So yeah, I tend to go, I don't see a reason in stealing. Like, I really don't get it at all because I would rather work my butt off and be able to get whatever I want and actually feel like I deserve it, you know? Um, Now, when I was a kid, believe me, every kid has at least stolen one candy bar from a store. I have done it too. I didn't understand when I was a kid that that was not okay to do because, well, you're still developing when you're a kid. Well, I actually ended up feeling really bad about it and asked mama. I talked to, um actually, I think it may have been one of my aunts that I asked if I could borrow some money to go and pay for the candy bar, um, because I felt so bad about stealing it. Um, so I have my snacks and goodies close to the bed because I tend to sleepwalk to go and get food, which is not which is probably why I've gained so much weight lately and why I'm retaining so much water. I do exercise constantly, and I'm most likely sleepwalking to go and get junk food. So I keep Cheez Its, which is my junk food, and Spin Wheels, which is also my junk food. But I also keep these yummy granola things because Honey Bunches of Oats has these granola bits in them that I am absolutely obsessed with. And I was like, they have Just Bran from Honey Bunches of Oats, but they don't have Just Oats. Like, when did that become a thing? Well, now they do. Um, and since I'm completely obsessed with them and they're good for you, I got those. I got 2 big bags of them. I also have more junk food because when my 3-day period starts, I need to have my chocolate because that helps with the cramps. Um, and of course, my entire family is completely jealous because my period literally lasts 2 to 3 days, and that is it. I don't have the raging mood swings and crap like that. I do tend to get more irritated quickly, but I'm one of those types of people that if I'm getting irritated about something, I'll either walk away or tell you to stop it. That's that. I don't I never understood how 1 minute someone could be a complete cuddle bunny and then the next just turn into a raging hormone monster. That never made sense to me. Still doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how people can't control their emotions when they're on their period. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But that's just me. Not everyone is the same. Um, anyway, there was also another game that I would really like to be dropped in if I had the chance. Oh, I can't remember the name of it right now. Oh, um, Diablo. The one I'm playing now is Reaper of Souls, I believe is what it's called. Um, it is a version of Diablo 3. It has more of this it has just really beautiful scenery and I would totally love to be a wizard. I don't know about anybody else, but I'd absolutely love to have magic. That would be really cool. But I absolutely love that game. I do not like the computer version. And everyone's like, "Well, they're basically the same." No, they're not. Um on the computer, I have to fight with the keys, and since keyboards are not the same as they used to be, and you have these really flat keys, it makes it really difficult to do with these nails. And even if I don't have the nails on, my actual nails grow extremely fast. So I constantly have to upkeep them to make sure that it's not interfering with me playing a game, which is why I really don't like playing computer games so often. I would rather, just be able to, you know, fiddle with a controller because it's a lot easier to deal with when you have nails. Um, I know everyone's like, "Well, you don't have to have nails, blah, blah, blah." I'm a girl. I like to actually feel like a girl, so I get my nails done. Whether it's the ones that I have to glue on or go to a salon to get done. This is my one treat that makes me feel like I'm a girl, and it is the only reason I would want to be a girl. Aside from that, no use for it. Um, now, I do have games that I'm completely obsessed with on my phone. I also have a um, I also have TikTok on here because I'm completely obsessed with it. But I have Pokemon Go. Lily's Garden came with the phone, as well as Crossword Jam, Word Trip, and Solitaire, Wadoku, and a slot game, which I ended up getting rid of most of those. I kept Lily's Garden, and I started playing it. Um, I like it, but I hate it all at the same time. I don't know why I continue to play it. It makes no sense to me. But I also put Zedge on here just because I love the notification sounds that they have, um, and the ringtones that they have. Funny ones like "Your mother is calling. Stop what you were doing and pick up the phone." Like it's just hilarious. I also have Love Nikki. Um, I started playing this game when I had a phone a lot older um than my original Android, um, that I got with Straight Talk. That one I had Love Nikki for about maybe 4 months before they did an update that my phone no longer supported, and then I was given a new phone and I re-downloaded it and only had it for about, like, a month or a week or a month before there was another update that the phone couldn't handle. So when I got this one, I didn't think it would actually download, but it did. So I got Love Nikki on there. Hey, I pointed to it. But anyway, I put Love Nikki on there. And I also have Merge Dragons and Merge Magic and Evermerge. And I think that's all of my games. Yes, that's all of my games. Yay. And like I get really into those. Um I tend to like Evermerge far more than the other Merge games, like Merge Dragons and Merge Magic and Merge Land, Merge Islands, and all that. I tend to like Evermerge far more. I don't know what it is about it, but basically you have these different islands that you can jump to. One's basically animals, the other one's events, and the main one is you're getting these characters and these dwarves to. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that the 3 people that I have on Evermerge. Let me see if it shows them. Um, I hate loading screens, they take forever. And the loading screen is not of any of the main characters at all. I don't know if you can see that. It's not of any of the main characters, so I don't. You have the two dwarves, which they basically build houses for you and tear things down. Aside from that, the the girl, she's the, I guess you would call her a zookeeper. I guess is the best way to put it. She's basically in charge of the animal island. But anyway, they're, to me, they're not the main characters. Um, we have, it is, that is not where I want to be right now. I want to go to the home island, which means I have to go through means I have to go through the loading screen again. I'm trying very hard not to curse so often. It's taking a while to get there. Turn that down because no one likes that music. Come on, come on, come on. I'm trying to show them. Thank you. There's Puss in Boots, the princess, lazy frickin' princess, and this guy. And you constantly have to go and make food for them and stuff like that. And you can collect stuff from once you collect their food for them, you can get coins, wands, and all sorts of things from it. But it's it it's really annoying because they go through it constantly. I see no point in having to feed them when they do nothing but sit there, and I'm having to do all the work, you know? I tend to be one of those people. If no one's helping me do it, I don't see why I should do it myself. So I tend to get arg about it and don't wanna deal with it because I don't like having to deal with that kinda crap on my own. But you constantly have to get these ingredients like, apples, carrots, and then there's candies and wheats that you have to collect. And, that's how you make their snacks, and they constantly want frickin' snacks. It is ridiculous how much these things eat. It's like, seriously, where are you putting all of that? I don't see you working out. I don't see you doing anything. How the heck? But yeah, anyway, that tends to be how this frickin' game goes, which I'm not entirely mad about it. It is a little irritating that I constantly have to feed them, even though they're not doing anything. So it tends to get a bit irritating just in that aspect. Aside from that, it's not too terrible. It's just it depends on your pet peeve, I guess. I tend to not like having to care for other people very much. It is already hard enough to take care of myself, and I'm still struggling to take care of myself. I can't do that yet. I am literally living off of the government with food stamps for food and trying to find a job, which seems that no one wants to hire me because I've constantly been filling out applications. I'm basically homeless with housing and I'm living with my own mother. And I feel like I'm nothing but a burden to her. And everyone keeps telling me, well, it's normal for a child to move back in with their parents because, usually they leave too soon or blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but I shouldn't have to burden my mother with taking care of me yet again when I should be able to take care of myself. But the fact that we have to worry about state taxes and crap like that makes it 10 times harder to actually live on your own. So, yeah, I have my own pet peeve about the fact that I have to live with my mother. It's not like I hate her or anything. We get along really well, and I'll always love my mom. I would always want to live with her. It We each have our own pet peeves, but we get along all right. I still I still find it completely unacceptable to have to live with my mom. The only thing I wanted to do when I left in the first place, which was around 17, when I left the house to move in with my second boyfriend, I thought the only thing I wanted to accomplish was to be able to live on my own. I wanted to get a house. I wanted to have kids and, just be successful. Well, it just seemed like all hell was out to get me and nothing was working out the way I wanted. And I ended up getting into a really bad relationship and having to get out of it with the help of a friend and having to find a way to get out of it, and ended up moving up to Washington State, which was a 3-day trip from North Carolina. It is also a 3-day trip from Washington to Florida, which is not that bad, especially if you're on the train, not that bad. Um, Now it's things just kept going downhill real fast, and no matter what I did, it just seemed like I couldn't get anything to work out the right way. It just seemed like anything that I was doing was just it was just crap, which was is literally the best way to put it. It was literal crap. There was nothing I could do to get out of the situations that I was in, no matter how hard I tried, no matter what jobs I found. Even if it was just walking someone's dog for them, it seemed like I could not make enough money to just live on my own. And it sorry, I'm trying very hard not to start crying. Um, it seemed that no matter how hard I fought, no matter how hard I tried, it was going to be a constant struggle just to survive on my own. And I figured that no one would want to help me. I figured I would just, be a burden to everyone and no one would want to go through that. No one would want to help me through that kind of situation. That's just what I thought. And because of some family members, I actually thought that all of that was true. I thought that my mother would be extremely irritated having to take in one of her children again. That she would feel it was a pain in the ass to have to do that, that she shouldn't have to. And yeah, she doesn't have to. It's that's not something she has to do. It doesn't matter if she's my mother or not. She doesn't have to take care of me if she does not want to. But it still got to me, just the simple fact that I had to live with her again. It drove me nuts having to, go through all of that and have to suck up with living with her again and trying not to feel completely horrible about it, even though I've been feeling like crap about it. Now, I know it couldn't be helped, the situations that I've been in and what I've had to go through so far. None of it could have been helped. There was nothing I could do about it, nothing anybody could do about it. I had no more strings to grab onto. I was I guess the best way to put it is I was useless. Couldn't find a job within the 4 years of being in Washington. Um, could not make a living on my own. I was constantly homeless. I've lived under a bridge for a while. Um, I've been homeless with housing, which is living in other people's houses off of them because I still can't find a job and I'm still trying to, you know, figure shit out all on my own. It was a constant struggle and a constant fight, and I finally get to a safe place, and I'm so relieved, I guess is the best way to put it, relieved to have a safe place to just relax, that I don't think anyone understands how big a deal that is for me. I don't know how best to explain what it means to me to have a place to just rest because of all the crap that I've gone through recently. It's just I still can't believe that it's real, that it's something that's actually happening. It's just like, no way. This has to be a dream. There's no way this is real right now. There is no way that I'm in a safe place right now. There's no way that, well, there's just no way. There's no way I have a safe place to lay my head down. There's no way that I have people around me that care. There's just absolutely no frickin' way. I am still in that mindset. I am still in that place to where it's just no way. Just no way. There's no way in hell I have a safe environment to just be. which is obviously still something that I'm coping with. Everyone's like, "Well, you looked pretty relaxed to me." No, no. I am constantly playing games because I'm so stressed out about the fact that I'm living with my mother again. That's still something that is completely unbelievable to me and something that should have never happened. It I'm not relaxed at all. I'm freaking out. I am screaming on the inside, wondering how the hell I managed to get to this point in my life to have to live with my mother again, where I would have to burden her again with having to take care of me again because I was too incompetent to take care of myself. That's how that's how my mindset works. That's how my thinking is going at this point in time. It's just like, wow, look at you. You couldn't take care of yourself at all. Don't you feel wonderful about yourself? No, nope. No, I don't. Not at all. I am not the least bit happy that I have to live with my mother again. I feel like I am nothing but a gigantic burden to her. Now, that may not actually be true. I I may not even be a burden to her. She may not even be bothered by it, but because of family situations and things that I've been through, to me, that is I know for a fact they're not worried about it. I am. My thinking has been beaten into me since I was a kid that I am worthless, I am useless, I will never accomplish anything in my life. That is still hard to break out of. It is for any human being. It is very difficult to break out of that kind of situation where you constantly feel like you can't accomplish anything. I still I am still constantly in that zone. I am constantly trying to fight to get out of that box, that bubble. I am constantly fighting to try to move on, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle for anyone. I can't really say that I understand how people feel because I take it differently than other people. Um, I ended up going on a drinking binge um, while I was in Washington, and uh, it just kind of drank myself into a hole. And was just constantly drinking. It only lasted for about a month, and then I was just like, "This isn't helping anything. Why the heck did I start doing this again?" And just went cold turkey, dropped it all, and walked away. There was no point in it. It wasn't helping anything. It wasn't helping me fix anything. And I still I don't understand how people get into drinking that much. I don't understand how people get into the drugs. Um, I have heard it put a lot of different ways, and I still don't understand it because I did the drinking, and all I got was sickness and headaches. I really don't see the point in it. It's I guess it's just different for everybody. Sometimes it makes them feel better. It gives them a sense of relief or release or whatever. Did not for me. Um, Um, it is it's constantly different for everybody. You can't really technically say that you understand how someone feels because everyone experiences something different. To somebody getting a shot is a life or death matter. To other people, getting a shot is just as simple as, "Oh," and, just moving on. Everyone thinks about things differently, everyone takes it in differently, everyone feels it differently. Anger for one person is not going to be the same for another. Jealousy with one person is not going to be the same with another. The way we think about jealousy, the way we think about anger, the way we think about being sad, everyone feels it differently. I can yeah, you can say, "I understand how you feel," or "I'm sorry for your loss, I get it," or "I understand." It's meant to be as my condolences, as I am sorry for your loss. I am sorry that you lost someone that was so close to you. And it's them trying to understand how you're taking it. It's not, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you," or, "I'm sorry for your loss." It's them trying to understand where you're at this point in time. Are you more angry that they died? Are you angry at yourself for being mad at them that they died? Are you angry at someone else for maybe thinking that they killed them because they called them somewhere and they got into an accident? Like, they're literally trying to understand where you are. They're trying to understand if you're actually grieving, if you're pissed off, if you're going to need help. They're they're literally trying to understand where you are. Now, granted, there are some people that are just like, "I'm so sorry," and just go about their own damn business because they don't really care. Now, I understand there are people like that. Um, Depending on the person and how they treated me, I would probably be the same way. It's different for everybody. Um, when my grandpa died, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard the news was, "Oh, thank God." And everyone around me was like, "What is wrong with you?" And it's like, "No, there's nothing wrong with me. It's because no one else was seeing the pain he was in. I did. I could literally feel his pain." Um, Anytime I'm near someone that is blood related, I can feel what they're feeling without having to touch them, without talking to them and stuff like that. It and everyone calls me an empath, and I don't know if that's actually true or if I'm just really sensitive. Um, he was constantly in pain, constantly fighting against it. Just everyone seemed to think that he was perfectly fine and that he was healthy, and they couldn't understand how a perfectly healthy man could just die. So the first thing that came to my mind when I heard that he had passed was, thank God. He's no longer in pain. He's no longer having to fight against that and put on a smile or a stone face and pretend like he's fine. He doesn't have to do that anymore. It's not something that is necessary anymore. To me, that was a good thing. Now, on the other hand, if my grandma dies, I'm probably not gonna be concerned about it at all. And there's a whole lot to preface that to that I could tell you guys on that, but I'm not gonna go into that. Um, that is not something that I'm comfortable talking about just yet. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go and play some Subnautica after I go outside and smoke because I'm not supposed to smoke in the house. So I'm gonna head outside and smoke. Most likely make some actual food now that my stomach has settled, and hopefully keep it down because I was throwing up last night. Just I don't know if I ate too much or if one of the things that I ate was bad or if it was just because I don't know. Um, I have been vaccinated, so I know I don't have COVID. I still get tested for it every now and then to make sure. Um, because I don't really trust that. And I don't care if my FBI agent's watching me. Um, but yeah, I think I got a bug and I just couldn't keep anything down, or my stomach was still unsettled. Um, I've been here for about maybe a little over a month now. Mhm. Still kind of unsettled at this moment. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go. And I hope you all have a beautiful morning, day, evening, afternoon, night, whatever, whatever time of day it is for you. And I will probably talk to you guys some other time. Bye. Hope you have a great day.